and their season is over. Both champions, but one the super champion of the state in girls basketball. And now we look forward to the championship game of boys Class A. And this is, Frank, where all of the excitement through the years has been generated. The big schools, the coverage of the media. You look around this vast auditorium, one full side of the auditorium gets press alone, plus the radio upstairs and downstairs, plus the television, plus the fans that are packed in here, and the banners all over this auditorium. And I often marvel, and as I get older, I marvel a little more, but I sit back and I try to remember back to when I was a youth. And Frank, when you stop and think, we're looking at 16 and 17 and 18-year-olds out there, and they're looking up there into the crowd and feeling the pressure. This is a very, very important moment in their lives.
It sure is, and it's amazing to me how they handle the pressure. We have seen, well, I've seen so many state championship ball games, and you come down to clutch free throw situations with 6,000 and 7,000 fans screaming at you. And you're right, you got to keep in mind, we're talking about 17, 18-year-old kids stepping up there at the line and throwing one in. It's amazing. It's a great atmosphere. You can hear it in the background. It's starting to build now, and it'll reach some kind of a crescendo, I'll tell you, as we get this one underway.
Much of the attention here tonight will be centered on Gary Toll, number 32, because it is Augusta, it is his hometown, and because he has had the publicity of the last week, I'd say, Frank. I don't know about the Portland area, but across eastern Maine, the word is Toll. But you know, no one player wins or loses a basketball game.
No, he's got a great cast. The people that go with him, and they got the big man. The big man has to function tonight for him, George.
I think the whole battle in this basketball game tonight will be off the boards. You can't score if you don't get the ball. And if Felt of Coney should ever get in foul trouble, it will change the complexion of this game. I think it's going to be fought right there. It will be fought in the backcourt, especially with guys like Boosket Coney. But number 52, Felt, off the boards, has got to be the key man for Coney. Well, you know, Frank, we're not far away. And we will be back for the start of tonight's game in just a moment. Gone to the point in time when they're going back to the benches. Coney High School will be the visiting team, even though this is the Augusta Civic Center. And I think one thing that we should quickly point out is that this is not their home court. There is a hometown advantage. The co-captains are now meeting at mid-court. Here's Steve O'Brien coming out for Coney in the red. Out there also will pick up South Portland as we do, Frank.
That's Bob Kierstead and John DeMoro out there, co-captains for South Portland. A couple of seniors. They will not be starting as South Portland starts a completely undergraduate lineup.
Coyne and Lawton, I believe, will be the two officials meeting with them at center court. Coyne, the taller of the two officials. Lawton, who is going to be the assigner in Eastern Maine next year. Wayne Lawton is working his final game, unless he should be in the New England's. I would think that Wayne is working his final game as a basketball official. The two coaches, Coach Pound and Coach Brown. Coach Brown knows Augusta pretty well, Frank.
You're right. He coached right here in the area, and of course, he would love to come up with a win here tonight.
We will now have the introductions of the players. Bob Whitelock, the tournament director, is on the microphone at the far sideline. And he's asking for the attention of the fans. I'm not sure for what reason. These fans don't want anybody's attention. They want to play basketball. And the South Portland fans are still whooping it up, and he's waiting. He's not going to get anybody's attention, I don't believe. That's the delay. We see a Coney Ram in the crowd here.
May I have your attention, please? There's just two announcements.
Two announcements to be made out on the court.
There was a very unfortunate incident at the Bangor Auditorium with the net ceremony after the ball game. I would request the student bodies for both schools to leave the net ceremony to the ball clubs.
All right, what they're asking the fans to do is to not come out on the court and try to help the players take the nets down, because in Bangor, both baskets collapsed onto the crowd, and they were quite worried over that.
Which is very distracting to the officials on the court.
And we also have some whistles in the crowd, and they're asking the whistling in the crowd. I heard it in the girls' game, and it bothered me. I thought it was a couple of times. You could sure mess up a game with a whistle in the crowd.
Moody Flynn of Bath has been scoring at these tournaments for 20 years. Moody is retiring this year.
And the scorer is now getting some recognition also at the official scores. The gentleman from Bath is now been honored, and we get ready for the introduction of the players. Stony High School will be the visiting team.
Uniforms representing Eastern Maine.
They're the Eastern Maine champions. Here come the cheerleaders, and what would we do without cheerleaders, right?
Oh, and here comes the Ram.
Here comes the Ram out onto the court. The tension is building in this auditorium, as always. The crowd up and screaming. Stevie O'Brien, 6-foot ball player coming out. Kind of an underrated ball player, the two O'Briens. The 32, Gary Toll. I don't want to say any more about him. If you saw that basket, he bounced off the floor in Bangor. You've seen it all. Here's the big guy that may be the key to the ball game. 52 is Ray Felt. Number 11, Stevie Boos. B-U-S-Q-U-E, and he says, call me Boos, if you will. And here's Scotty O'Brien, the other O'Brien, and they are out on the court. They come right at you, much like South Portland does tonight. Right off the tap, they'll be pressing and putting a lot of pressure on. Now South Portland will get ready. Identical colors, by the way, for both schools, red and white. Both are number 2 in the heel point standings, east and west. Number 23 being introduced, Paul Gorham. Here comes big number 24, Mike Williams, onto the floor. Number 24 in the white uniforms of the Riots of South Portland.
That's Paul Brunell.
Number 12, Paul Brunell, a 6'6" center. He'll be matched up with Belt. Here comes number 10. And that's going to be Ken Lynch, and then the coach's son, number 11, Brett Brown.
And Brown, George, was a vinyl trophy winner as the outstanding player sportsman in the Western Maine tournament. We got an ideal matchup there in backcourt. I'll tell you, we got 4 of the finest guards in the state playing in this basketball game tonight.
Well, the interesting thing, Frank, is they played a preseason game that went 3 overtimes. South Portland won it at the buzzer. I guess a few too many turnovers for Coney. We could see that kind of matchup here again tonight. Again, South Portland wearing white uniforms, the Western Maine champions. Coney High School wearing the red uniforms. They are the Eastern Maine champions. This is a wrap over the season, and I'm looking forward to it, Frank, and good luck to you. You got the mic.
Okay, my George, thank you very, very much. Here we go. Lawton will toss it between 6'6" Burnell, 6'6" Ray Felt. In that game George was talking about, the preseason game, one of the keys was Felt did foul out of the ball game and did not play in a couple of those overtime periods. Let's see what happens here tonight. Just about set to get it underway. Tip is going to be controlled by Coney. Push for the basketball. He's in forecourt. Goes to Toll for the jumper from the left. It's it. Gary Toll hits the first 2 quarters. Look out for that young man. All right, pressure on Brett Brown now. Scotty O'Brien on him. Brown on a dribble. Goes lane. Goes jump shot. It's all even. 2-2 basketball game. Gary Toll up on the forecourt. Outside of the right. Top of the circle. Leaves for O'Brien. O'Brien puts it on the floor. Goes on the left wing to Bush. High post to Felt. Turns. Gets it back outside. Cross court right. There's Toll. Goes to the baseline. There's the jump shot. 2 for 2. Gary Toll. 4-2 Tony. All right, here comes Brett Brown up in the forecourt. They're giving him a side, looking to clear out a little bit. Now he goes to Mike Williams. Williams holds back outside. This is Kenny Lynch. Lynch puts it on the floor. They look for the big man. Can't find him. Go left side to Paul Gorham. Good athlete at South Portland, Gorham. Outstanding football player. He goes back to Brown along the sideline. In they go down to Williams. Williams a turnaround. On the glass, it's no good. Rebounded, whipped away by Gorham. Out it comes. Big offensive board. Now to Burnell along the baseline. Turns up with a turnaround. It's no good, but he was fouled. Ray Felt picks up his first personal foul.
Okay. That's going to be very interesting, Frank, to see how many Mr. Felt gets in the first half. That's It's a critical thing in a ball game, keeping 52 alive for the Coney Rams. And if he gets 2 or 3 early, then the whole complexion of this game may turn around.
Burnell at the line hits the first one, 4-3. Coney a 1-point lead. Burnell can get it all even. 6:50 remaining opening period. Jam-packed house here in Augusta. Shot is good. We're all even at 4 apiece. Wait a minute.
That's some debris on the floor.
Okay. I thought they might have called the violation along the lane, but it's up there on the board. 4-4 now. Coney with the basketball. This is Scott O'Brien. Brother Steve wears 42. Scott, high post to Felt for the turnaround. It's no good. Rebound, tipped up, no good. Rebound, pulled away by Toll. We got a whistle, a foul. Foul going to be called on Mike Williams. Gary Toll, 6'1" senior. All these starters for Coney are seniors, and most of the time Dave Pound goes with just the 5 men you see out there. He does not substitute a whole lot. On the other hand, South Portland does go to the bench quite often. All right. O'Brien will inbound along the end line. This is Scott O'Brien. Out it comes to Felt. Cross court on the right. Bush on a dribble. Goes baseline. Fakes. Now the jumper from the baseline. No good. Tipped up. No good. Rebound. Felt back up and in. Great Felt. Puts Coney in front 6-4. A pair of 6'6". People matching up there in the middle. Burnell and Felt. This is Mike Williams. Will take the jumper. It's good. We're all even at 6-6. Williams, the leading scorer for the Riots in the season, averaging just over 15 points a game. Gary Toll goes behind his back at a dribble. Now on the baseline of the quarter, he goes to Steve O'Brien. Back out he comes to Scott. Cross court and left to Bush. Bush on the baseline to Toll. Toll. Baseline jumper. It's good. Gary Toll, 3 for 3 in the shooting department, and Coney leading at 8-6. All right, here comes Brett Brown in forecourt now for the Riots. To Lynch. Kenny Lynch, 6'2" guard. Holding it. Looking. In it goes to Williams. We had a whistle. Nobody heard the whistle. But we had the 5-second call, and we'll get the jump. No offensive move made by Lynch in the 5 seconds, so we'll get the jump at the free throw line. It's getting impossible to hear any kind of a whistle here now. The tip control by Coney. Scott O'Brien with the basketball in forecourt. He goes to Bush. Bush pulls up for the jump shot. It's no good. Rebounded, knocked out of bounds by Gorham. It'll be Coney ball. Coney leading at 8-6. We've got 5:35 remaining opening period.
Coney is leading in the rebound department 4-1 already.
All right. Scott O'Brien will inbound, and he comes to the big man Felt. He's in traffic. Pulled away by Brett Brown. Out he comes. Out of dribble. Bush to beat. He'll back off. Wait to set it up now. Brett Brown with the basketball. In the right corner, this is Gorham. Gorham cross court underneath to Williams for the jump shot. It's no good. Rebounded by Felt. Out he comes to Toll. Toll on a dribble up at the forecourt. Bounce pass nice to the Bush. Drives on the right side. Pulls up for the jump shot. It won't go. Rebound tipped up. No good. Rebound grabbed away by Mike Williams. Outlet pass up to Kenny Lynch. Drops it. It's going to be grabbed away by Felt. The ball loose. Rolled in backcourt. Grabbed off by O'Brien. Steve O'Brien with the basketball. A lot of hustle out there by this Coney club right now. Scott O'Brien top of the circle. On the left wing, he has Toll. Toll holding. He's 3 for 3 in the shooting department. On the baseline, he goes to O'Brien. That's Steve O'Brien. Foul line. Bush drives the lane. The shot blocked. Rebound Toll. Back up in the glass. It's no. There's a rings the hoop, but it wouldn't go. Rebound deflected. Finally grabbed away by Lynch. A little bit of pressure. He backs off on a dribble and leads with Brown. Brett Brown with the basketball. Up in the forecourt now. Brown's a junior. Lynch a junior. Gorham a junior. Williams a junior. Burnell a sophomore. Jumps it by Mike Williams. And the game is all even at 8-8. 6-4 in the junior. Mike Williams wears 24. All right, in forecourt, the Rams. That was the game all even. 4:20 remaining in the opening period. Gary Toll puts a move on. Goes baseline for the jump shot. Rims it again. Won't go. Rebound tip no good. Rebound Felt back up and no good. Rebound pulled away by Mike Williams, but Felt was fouled by Paul Burnell. 6'6" sophomore Paul Burnell picks up the personal. Second team foul on the Riots. First on Burnell, and we've got a change. As we said, South Portland will substitute. And this is number 13, Paul McFarland, a 6'5" junior, into the lineup now, replacing Burnell. Ray fell at the line. Misses the first one off the front iron. He'll get one more. It remains all even at 8-8. Westbrook girls won the opener here tonight, beating Mount Blue. Felt shot up and in. 9-8 Coney. All right, Williams inbounds now to Brett Brown. A little bit of pressure as they pick him up about 3/4 of the way. Scott O'Brien on him defensively. Brown, good ball handler. He's the floor general of this South Portland club. Goes on the right now to Lynch. Lynch in the lane to McFarland. He turns, no room. Trying to go to Williams. Has to tap it back outside to Brown. Brown on a dribble, slide sideline. Top of the circle to Lynch. Lynch holds on the left wing. Now this is McFarland. Paul, a 6'5 junior. Back outside now on the left side to Brown. The dribble goes top of the key. He'll take the jump shot. It's no good. The rebound is going to be pulled away by Cody's Ray Phelps. Drops it, gets it back, goes to O'Brien. Up in the forecourt down to Bush. Bush got a dribble. Goes left of the lane. Backs off, trying to penetrate. Still with a dribble. Down on the baseline he goes to Steve O'Brien. Left corner. Holds it. Back out he comes to Bush. Top of the circle to Scott O'Brien. Look for Toll. Right side, don't go. Go left side instead. Here comes Bush going to drive. Drops it off to Toll's jump shot. It's no good. Rebound grabbed away by McFarland. Tied up in there by Ray Phelps, and we'll get a jump.
Toll made his first 3 baskets and missed the next 3. But when he misses, it's still very close.
Oh, boy. 3:24 remaining in the opening period. Tony leads at 9-8. The ball in the air, tip control by Phelps, but we've got a violation around that jump. And it'll be South Portland ball. Mike Williams will inbound for the Riots. They trail by a point. Brett Brown, and he's feeling a little bit of pressure for Scott O'Brien as he brings it up on a dribble. Just making him work a little bit more. Tricky dribbles, faking, and a whistle foul going to be called on Scott O'Brien. Second team foul on the Rams. First foul on O'Brien. 9-8, Coney with the lead. We have 3:14 remaining in the opening period. Brown inbounds in the lane. It comes to Williams. Goes baseline. There's the jump shot over Phelps. It's good. Mike Williams having a great opening period for the Riots, and they're in front for the first time at 10-9. Williams has 6 points. 6 of the 10 for the Riots. All right, on the baseline. Left corner. That's Steve O'Brien. Out it comes to Scott O'Brien. Back to Steve. He'll take the jumper. It's hit. 11-10. Tony back in front now. Steve O'Brien hits from the corner. All right. Brett Brown indicating the play number with his finger as he comes across midcourt along the left sideline. Scott O'Brien on him defensively. Still on a dribble. Tricky dribble. Fakes. Now pulls up. Out he comes to Lynch. Lynch goes into McFarland. McFarland fakes. Fakes again. Now up with a shot. It's no good. Rebounded. They struggle for it. Pulled away by Phelps. Gets the pass out to Bush. Bush up at the forecourt. On the dribble goes by a man. Goes in the lane. Takes the jump shot. It's short. Rebounded by Phelps. Tipped up no good. Rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Phelps. It'll be South Portland ball. Ray Phelps really banging the boards, George.
Ray Phelps has unofficially 4 boards, and Tony out rebounding South Portland 10-3.
Got to be a big key in this one. South Portland figures to maintain the boards and the tempo of the basketball game, or else they're in trouble. All right, Lynch goes to Gorham. Paul holding it. Puts it on the floor a couple of times. Trying to get in. Goes to the lane. Drives the left-hander. Oh, Gorham puts a move on. And South Portland back in front now, 12-11. Jumper, left side. Toll. Tony leads by 1. 13-12. Toll has 8 points here in the first period. All right, a minute 45 remaining to play. Opening period. Tony leads by a point. South Portland's Brett Brown with the basketball. On the baseline, he goes to McFarland. Has daylight there. Doesn't take it. Instead goes to Williams. Williams will take the jumper on the glass. It's short. Rebounded. Phelps. Outlet pass up in the forecourt. It's going to be saved by Toll. But a couple of Riots there. Here comes Kenny Lynch. Lynch. Cross midcourt. Now he'll slow it up and wait. Goes to Brett Brown. Brown on the dribble. Slides left. Cross court on the right. He goes to Gorham with room. Drives the middle. A scoop shot. No good. Whistle, a foul. Foul going to be called on O'Brien. Steve O'Brien will pick up the personal 13 foul, and this one on the Rams, and the first on Steve O'Brien. Big Paul Gorham will be at the line for the Riots. He'll shoot a couple. Minute 20 remaining to play, opening period. Tony leads at 13-12. Toll with 8 points for Tony. Mike Williams with 6 for the Riots. All right, Gorham ready. The shot is up and in. Gorham gets one more as he gets this basketball game all even now at 13. All right, Paul ready. The shot up and good. And South Portland's back in front as it seesaws back and forth here in the early going. Long lead pass. O'Brien on the baseline. Pulls up and doesn't take the shot. Back out to Bush. Instead, top of the circle to Scott O'Brien. Lobs the pass to Toll. Toll, right of the lane, will take the jump shot from there. It won't go. Phelps trying to rebound up over McFarland. McFarland taps it away to Gorham. Gorham with the ball. At midcourt, he comes now to Brown. Brown up at a forecourt cross from the right to Lynch. Tricky dribbles by one. Can't get by another. He goes back to Gorham. Gorham has it on the floor. Now outside he comes with it. Brett Brown. Time winding down. 50 seconds remaining opening period. 14-13. South Portland with the lead. Kenny Lynch right in the lane. Jump shot is going to be short. Rebound tipped up no good. Rebound whistle. I think Paul Gorham crashed the boards to pick up the personal. Yep, it is Gorham picking up. No, they call it on Paul McFarland. His first 13 foul now on South Portland. Coney ball with the Rams trailing by a point at 14-13. Top of the forecourt now, Steve Bush. Top of the circle, trying to penetrate. Cross court, it goes on the left side. Now to Steve O'Brien. He'll take the jump shot. It's good. Steve O'Brien puts Coney back in front now at 15-14 with 30 seconds remaining in the opening period. All right, here's Brett Brown. With Scott O'Brien on him defensively. Not a lot of pressure. Just making him work a little bit. All right, top of the circle to Lynch. Lynch looks to his right. Goes to his right. This is Bobby Kierstead, number 15, into the lineup. In they go to Gorham, and he lays it in. All right, up at the forecourt. O'Brien again for the baseline. This time no good. Rebounded by Bobby Kierstead. Quickly out to Brett Brown. Brown up at the forecourt. Tricky dribbles. Dribble deflected. Knocked loose it out of bounds. And let's see. That is it. That's the end of the first. That's the end of the first period. And the score: South Portland 16, Coney 15.
And Coney out there, South Portland 11-6 on the rebounding. Felt obviously was doing very, very well. Picked up only one personal foul. But Frank, the tempo of the game was controlled a little more times by South Portland, so it's a very exciting, very close game.
Great first period, 16-15, South Portland, and the Riots control the tip to start things here in the second period. Brett Brown is in there along with Kenny Lynch, Mike Williams, Paul Burnell, and Bob Kierstead. This is Lynch with the basketball as he slides top of the circle on his dribble and now backs off. Still on the dribble. Looking right, comes left to Kierstead. On the baseline, they have Burnell trying to get inside, shut off by Felt. Out it comes now to Brett Brown, top of the circle, fakes. Now he backs off of the dribble. Second period just underway, 16-15. South Portland leads it. They have the basketball. Cross court on the left, they come to Lynch. A little bit of daylight, doesn't take the shot. Out it comes instead to Brown. Brown holding it. Brown on the dribble, now top of the key. On the left of the lane, he comes to Lynch. Cross court, they go underneath now to Burnell, trying to go up on the right side. It's good. Paul Burnell gives South Portland a 3-point lead, 18-15. Quickly up at the forecourt. Bush trying to penetrate along the baseline. We got a whistle of foul going to be called against Kenny Lynch. Bush, he can really move with the basketball. And Kenny Lynch will pick up his first personal. That's the 14th foul now on the Riots. One more, and it means, of course, a 1-and-1 situation. For South Portland, number 13 in white, McFarland has come in to replace Burnell. Inbounds, the pass comes to Toll. Fakes a man down. The shot is no good, but he was fouled. Mike Williams picking up the personal.
Fouls on number 24, Williams.
That's his second personal. And the 15th foul on the Riots. Gary Toll will be at the line, and he'll be shooting a pair. South Portland leading by 3 at 18-15. Toll, 6'1" senior, puts the shot up, and good. If you were along with us during the break between the two games, you heard Coach Bob Brown of South Portland talking about Toll, saying a lot of coaches feel he's a Division I basketball player. 18-17 as he hits them both. Coney draws to within 1 again. All right, Brett Brown's pass stolen away by Toll. Up at the forecourt, he comes out of O'Brien. O'Brien goes to brother Steve O'Brien. He drives right of the lane up for the jumper. It's no good, but a foul is going to be called on McFarland.
The one thing about Toll, which is impressive, Frank, he plays both ends. He doesn't shoot and walk away. That steal at midcourt was really a pretty thing. He one-handed it, kind of carried the ball enough to get control of it.
Some kind of ball player, and Steve O'Brien will be at the line now, and he'll be shooting a couple. With the first one, he can get this game all even again. South Portland leading 18-17. O'Brien is ready. The shot is up. It's good. As we mentioned, all the starters for Coney are seniors. 18-18 game, and now Coney goes in front again at 19-18 as Steve O'Brien hits a fair. Coney up to put some full court pressure on now. Brett Brown with the basketball up at the forecourt. The pass comes to Williams as the Riots handle the press easily this time around. Brett Brown with it along the left wing. Top of the circle, he goes to Ken Lynch. In the corner, this is Mike Williams. Williams had 6 points for the Riots in that opening period. Cross court on the right, they go to Kenny Lynch. And again on the baseline to Mike Williams. The Riots look to move it around. This is a disciplined ball club. They'll take their time. They'll look for the good shot. There it is by Lynch on the baseline. It won't go, though. Felt rebound. Quick outlet now with the Troll. Up at the forecourt he comes. With Brown defensively. Takes the jumper. Left to the right. 21-18, and Coney has run off 6 straight points, and they lead now by 3. All right, Brown in backcourt now with Kenny Lynch. Full court pressure applied by the Rams. Long pass up at the forecourt comes to Paul Gorham. Gorham puts it on the floor, goes to the right lane, goes up with the runner. It's good. Paul Gorham banks it on the boards. 21-20. Coney with the lead and the ball. O'Brien pulls up, faking the shot. Doesn't take it. Goes to Bush, top of the key. Bush behind him, loud as Scott O'Brien. Cross court on the right. He comes back to Toll. In they go to Felt. Felt goes to the baseline for the turnaround. It won't go. Rebounded by Mike Williams. Knocked loose, stolen by Toll. Toll spins, lays it off. Felt, he puts it up. No good. And the rebound is trapped away by South Portland's McFarland, but what a great play by Gary Toll. All right, here come the Riots in forecourt. Brown with the basketball, top of the circle. 5.5 left to play. Second period. On the right wing, he goes to McFarland, and they go to Gorham, and a lot of traffic. We got a whistle. Foul going to be called against Cody.
Tony has gone zone. They started man-to-man. They're back in the 2-3 zone.
Okay, number 42, Steve O'Brien, picks up his second personal, fourth team foul on the Rams. It'll mean possession for the Riots. Along the end line, Brett Brown will inbound. South Portland trailing by a point. They led by 3 at 18-15, but Coney ran off 6 straight. Inbounds, they come to Gorham. Gorham comes right of the lane. Now on the corner, baseline jumper, Brett Brown short. Rebounded by Felt. Quickly out it comes now to Toll. Toll over the forecourt. Toll, foul line, jump shot. It won't go. Rebound tip no good. Rebound going to be grabbed by Bush. Rebound shot is up no good. Rebound grabbed off again by South Portland's Mike Williams. All right, Williams puts it on the floor. Toll on him defensively. Williams pulls up near midcourt, still in backcourt. Up at the forecourt. His pass comes now on the left side to Kenny Lynch. Lynch back outside to Brett Brown. South Portland trailing by a point. Brown holds it on the left wing. He has Mike Williams. Goes to the baseline for the jump shot. It's an air ball. Rebounded by Steve O'Brien. Here comes Tony Busk up at the forecourt. Busk right of the lane. Pulls up. Jump shot. No good. Rebound again. Ripped away by McFarland. A whistle of foul. An elbow called on Paul McFarland. Coach Bob Brown up a little bit upset about that one. Something tossed out on the floor. Let's hope we don't see a whole lot of that.
That's not a foul. That's only a violation.
Right. He ripped the elbow, and you saw the violation to turn the basketball over. All right, up in the forecourt. Lynch in the lane with a jump shot. No good, and the rebound pulled away by Bush. Here comes Bush up in the forecourt to Toll. Toll left in the lane, between his legs, goes baseline. Jump shot is up and short. He was defensed that time by Brown, and Brett Brown will pick up the personal.
Toll has one thing in mind when he comes down, and that's to go for the hole. But, Frank, I can't remember a kid that could stop and shoot the way this kid does in Maine in recent years. He reminds me very much of a kid at Connecticut a few years ago named Wes Balasickia.
Right.
The way he can handle the ball.
All right, Toll, the first one up and in. Tony a 2-point lead now at 22-20. And Gary Toll will have one more. Paul Burnell now, number 12, coming back into the lineup. Replacing Paul McFarland. Toll with 13 points in the ball game already. Make it 14. And Coney leads 23-20. So Gary Toll, as advertised, with 14 points. All right, quickly over the forecourt. Here comes Paul Gorham. He's underneath. He spins, puts it up with the left hand. It won't go. Rebounded by Ray Felt again. Out he comes to Toll. Toll up the forecourt. Pass nicely to Bush. He drives the lane. We had a whistle on the way through. A foul was called on Kenny Lynch on the way through. And a pretty play. And South Portland now is going to get it all together. They're going to take a timeout here. Timeout at the Augusta Civic Center with the score. Tony 23, South Portland 20.
I guess maybe you heard about this down in Portland, but during the course of the regular season, Gary Toll came into the Bangor Auditorium against Bangor High School, which did not have a particularly good year, winning 1 and losing 17. But on the night that he was there, he got 54 points to break Bernie's old record. And he has 14. In one of the tournament games, as I recall, he had 20 in the first half. That might have been against Brewer. It's been a very even second period in rebounds. South Portland picked up a little bit, and it's just about even on the rebounding. And this game is very, very tight three-pointer, but obviously Coney is the kind of team that can break it open, and they did this in the tournament, and they're trying to do this right now. If they get you running and scrambling, frequently you'll fall by the wayside.
All right, Bush misses at the free throw line, and Mike Williams rebounds for the Riots. 23-20 Coney. 4:14 remaining here in the second period. This is Lynch along the baseline. He goes to Burnell for the jump shot over Felt. It's good. Paul Burnell, the 6'6 sophomore, hits for the Riots, and it's 23-22. A 1-point lead for the Rams again. O'Brien trying to penetrate. Can't. Left side he goes to Bush. Bush trying to go around a man. Tricky dribble. Now he goes on the left sideline to Steve O'Brien. Pair of O'Briens out there. Steve, 42. And number 10 is Scott O'Brien. He has the basketball now out near midcourt. All right, O'Brien along the left sideline. This is Bush trying to tricky dribble. Has Lynch on him defensively. He tries to penetrate that South Portland zone. All right, top of the circle of O'Brien. It's full. Toll goes in now for the turnaround by Felt. It's good. Big Ray Felt. Off the feed by Gary Toll. And Coney leads by 3 again at 25-22. And they've got full court pressure on a foul against Felt. And he holds the knee as he goes down hard in front of the official scorer.
Oh, boy. Well, he has that knee wrapped. And he is in agony, and Coach Pound is on it right him. He's virtually underneath the score. And he banged it down onto the knee. Now, I'm not familiar with his injury. Bob Wytock is going out. Irrespective of his value to the team, you hate to see this happen. I hope that the young man is all right. It may be a temporary painful thing, and we'll have to wait and see. But, of course, from a basketball standpoint, he is critical to them in this point in the ball game.
It sure is, and how much of a factor he's been in this ball game right to this part. But now he is down, Ray Felt, down and injured, and you saw him grab for that left leg as he went down that left knee. So we'll take a timeout here at the Augusta Civic Center with the score, Coney 25 and South Portland 22.
It looked like that he would be in big trouble, but now he has run it off, and they're going to take him out for a play or two, but Felt will be back. He's hurting, but the adrenaline is flowing, and I think in about 5 seconds he's going to forget about the pain. He obviously banged a bad knee. He's getting a drink of water. They're going to replace him very quickly, but he'll be back.
All right, at the line, Williams. Second, Gorham hits the first one, and it's 25-23. The Riots back within a couple. Gorham's second shot up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Collette. Ralph Collette into the ball game for Coney. As Felt went to the sidelines, but as George said, he got up. He was limping, but he seemed to walk it off in front of the Coney bench, and we would think that he'd be back shortly. This is Gary Toll with the basketball now, 25-23. Coney with a 2-point lead along the baseline of O'Brien as they look for a moment here to go four-corner.
They do this frequently. They like four-corner.
All right, Busk along the baseline. O'Brien has room. There's the jumper. It's no good. This time rebounded by Mike Williams again. Mike Williams been real big on the boards for the Riots. Up in the forecourt now, Brett Brown with it. 3 minutes exactly left to play, second period. South Portland with the ball and trailing by a couple of points. Brett Brown drops it off to Kenny Lynch. Lynch won't take the shot. Back out it comes to Brett Brown. 20-footer is no good off the front iron. Rebound tipped high in the air, loose, and finally controlled by Busk. All right, up in the forecourt now, Steve Busk gets in the lane. There's the runner. It is good. Oh, it will not count. They're going to wave it off. He was traveling.
Oh, boy.
The basket will not count. 2:42 left to play. Second period. It remains 25-23 Cody. All right, here comes Brett Brown across the timeline. He's top of the circle. Goes right wing with it now to Kenny Lynch. Lynch holds. In the lane they go to Gorham. A lot of traffic, but there's the jump shot. It's good. It counts, and he was fouled. And let's see who will pick it up. Gary Toll will pick up the personal. That's his first 15 foul on the Rams. It comes with 2:33 remaining to play. As we'll get another change for South Portland now. Brent Burrows will come in backcourt, replacing Kenny Lynch. All right, at the line. The shot by Gorham is good. South Portland takes the lead again, 26-25.
That's 12 for Gorham.
Paul Gorham. All right, here's Gary Toll. As they go to the fourth quarters. Now Collette. Outside to come to Busk. This is Toll. What a great man to have in that middle, either he or Busk, who handle that ball so well. All right, Busk with the basketball. Pulls up right of the lane for the jump shot. That's no good. Rebounded deep to the corner, and O'Brien controls for Coney. Rams trailing by a point. Less than 2 minutes remaining to play here in the first half. Toll, top of the key with it. Off the dribble, he goes to Scott O'Brien. Back to Toll. He falls, but gets the pass away to Busk. All right, Busk. Tricky dribble. Goes right in the lane, and a whistle. A foul going to be called on Mike Williams. Mike Williams picks up his third personal foul. A key moment here for the Riots. So number 13, Paul McFarland, comes back into the lineup. And Williams now will go to the South Portland bench with 1:46 remaining to play in the first half.
Busk has not had a point yet, but he does now.
He does right now. And this game is all even at 26. And Busk can put Coney back in front. The shot up and good. Foul shooting has been good on both ends in this one. 27-26 Coney. Brett Brown, full court pressure. To Gorham. Gorham up in the forecourt now to Burrows. Brent Burrows out of dribble, goes right in the lane, pulls up. Comes back outside to Gorham, now to Brown. Brown fakes the jumper, got caught up in the air. Now comes to Burroughs. In they go to Burnell on the baseline for the jump shot from the left and won't go. Rebound tipped up and in finally by Gorham. Paul Gorham, the first half by McFarland didn't go. Then Gorham hit the offensive boards, and the Riots lead again at 28-27. All right, O'Brien out near midcourt as they go to that forequarter again. Toll with it along the left sideline. Toll goes baseline. Toll with a jump shot. It's good. 29-28. 20 back in front. Gary Toll having a big first half of the Rams. All right, Brown looks for a little help back here against pressure. Now to Burroughs. Burroughs in the forecourt. Burroughs top of the circle. Foul line. Penetrates. Jumper. Good. But Burroughs just in off the South Portland bench. Hits his first two-pointer. It's 30-29 South Portland. Time winding down. 44 seconds remaining. Second period. Gary Toll with the basketball as they go to that forequarter again. In the right corner now. This is O'Brien. To Toll. He comes right of the lane. Now he'll take the shot. It's good. 31-30. Is he something else?
Off balance. Totally off balance. Shooting off the wrong foot, and he hit it. How do you like that?
Oh, boy. Brent Burroughs now in backcourt. Goes to Paul Gorham against full court pressure by the Rams. Gorham jumps a pass up in the forecourt out of Brett Brown. He pulls up for a jumper from the right. It's good. Oh, we're seeing some kind of shooting here at the end of this second period. 32-31 South Portland. 16 seconds remaining. All right, up in the forecourt, near midcourt. Toll with the basketball. Toll between his legs. Comes across on the right sideline. Now he gets a return pass, top of the key. Takes the jumper. This time it won't go. Rebound tipped up. Cofer, no good. Rebound put away by McFarland. And we're going to get a call. Let's see. No, time will run out here in the second period. So that's the end of the second period. The score at halftime. South Portland 32, Tony 31. Telling the story, we're at halftime. 32 for South Portland, 31 for Coney, and we have seen an exciting first half of basketball featuring some fantastic shooting by Gary Toll, and great board work on both ends by people like Ray Phelps, who had to go to the sideline, Mike Williams for South Portland, and Paul Gorham, probably offensively having his finest basketball game of the season.
Say, Frank, I don't want to do a disservice to Gorham because we are so amazed at Toll with his heroics of off-balance shooting. But Gorham's got 14 and Toll's got 18. He's only been outshot by 4 points.
Right. Paul Gorham is not the guy that you're going to, most of the time, look for to carry you offensively. He's big. He's strong. He's an outstanding rebounder. He gives you 110% out there all the time, but tonight he's doing it offensively too.
Well, there's a very critical thing in a ball game. As you know, Felt was injured. Now, he did not come back, and I don't know whether or not it was because they wanted to rest that knee that he banged under the court or what. They put some more tape on it. He limped to the locker room. Now, in the rebounding activity, unofficially, and we were trying to do 3 or 4 things at once here, but pretty accurate, we feel. It was even Steven in the second period, but it was 20-15. 20-15 in the rebounds. Coney over South Portland, and with Feld out of there, I don't think they can maintain that. Well, Frank, it's an exciting game, and we're looking forward to more. We'll continue with halftime activities in just a moment.
Williams leads the club in scoring, averaging a little over 15 points a game. Brett Brown averages a little over 11 points a game. And then I don't think another Riot is in double figures. You have people like Burnell and Gorham averaging 9 and 7 points a game. But they use a lot of people, and they used a lot of people here in the first half. I think they went to 8 or 9 people here in this first half. Brent Burroughs came off the bench to contribute, as did Paul McFarland and Bobby Kierstead. Bob Brown, the coach of South Portland, has always had that opportunity here to play a lot of people during the course of the year. George also mentioned both these clubs came in here seated number 2, and I want to pass along this to the people in the South Portland area. The Boosters Club is planning a big celebration for this ball club. That's a win, lose, or tie situation. They don't care. They just want to give this team and their coach a big rally tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock at Beale Gymnasium, and of course everybody's been invited to that one. So that's the Boosters Club rally tomorrow afternoon at Beale Gymnasium at 2 o'clock, and that is win, lose, or draw. On this one, it doesn't matter. They've had a great season no matter what. We'll continue with more halftime activity in just a moment. 31. And Tony returning, and we see Felt the first one out. So we would assume that we're going to see a lot more out of Ray Feld here in the second half. George, how about the individual statistics in that first half?
South Portland, as you indicated, Frank, had very good balance. Brown had 4. Gorham had the 14, and he was a kind of a quiet 14. He got the job done. Williams had 6, all coming in the first quarter. Burnell had 6, a very impressive ball player, and Burroughs came off the bench to get the 2, to add up to the 32 for South Portland. For Coney High School, Felt was held to 5. He is out warming up, but he is limping badly on his left knee. He may be questionable, I don't know. Busk was held to 2, and if anything happens to Felt, Busk, although he's not very big, has a tendency to rebound well for a smaller guard. Toll had 18, and what else can I say? He did everything but referee the ball game. Steve O'Brien, 6. Scotty O'Brien did not score. It's about average for Coney. They don't go too deep into it. Colford did come in off the bench and contribute. I think one of the keys is to get Busk open to shoot a little more, see if Felt stays in here. Both teams are very well matched, very even Steven. Well, Frank, I think we are about ready to get to the 16 minutes we've been waiting for all year. We'll be back for the start of the third period in just a moment. Well, it was a 1-point lead at the quarter. It's a 1-point lead at halftime. Nothing much changed. The rebounding stayed pretty even in the second period. The crowd standing here and cheering at both ends of the auditorium, all kinds of signs. We, in fact, had a situation here where the two crowds, the students, started to get into it at halftime, and the local gendarme stopped that, and everybody kind of laughed the whole thing away. So we go to the second half. I thought it was a very well officiated first half. It's a kind of a game that could get out of control, but we are just about 5 seconds away from the tap-off here, Frank.
Okay, we'll be back for the third period in just a moment.
He'll be joined by Jones on the right side. Green is a good one.
Okay, as we come back to action here at the Civic Center, Felt is back and is playing. Ray Felt starts here in the third period, but the first two-pointer of the third period was hit by Paul Burnell, and now O'Brien counters that. So we've had a pair of baskets, one by Burnell, one by Steve O'Brien, and it's 34-33 South Portland. All right, on the baseline they go to big Paul Burnell. Out it comes to Brett Brown, top of the circle. He starts to penetrate, but as he moves, he is, well, we're going to get a 3-second call. So the Riots will turn it over. Coney now can move in front. Rams trailing 34-33, and as we say, big number 52. Their 6-6 pivot, Ray Felt, is back in the lineup. This is Gary Toll. Toll back outside to Busk. Busk goes into Felt. Felt goes to the baseline. Fakes and now goes up with a shot. No good. Rebound tipped up and in by Gary Toll. He has 20. Okay, he has 20 points, and Coney leads 35-34. Brett Brown left in the lane, top of the circle. Kenny Lynch penetrates, foul line jumper. Good. 15-footer. Kenny Lynch puts the Riots back in front, 36-35. Scott O'Brien in forecourt, now to Busk. Busk, left wing. Busk all the way baseline up with a jump shot. It's no good on the air ball. Rebound slapped out of bounds, and it will be South Portland ball. 6:22 remaining third period. South Portland, a 36-35 lead. Earlier tonight, the Westbrook girls won the Class A state championship with a win over Mount Blue. Here comes Brett Brown of the Riots, number 11 in forecourt, to Lynch to Brown. He has room. There's the jumper. The 18-footer is no good. The rebound comes out to Toll. Toll on a dribble, comes to midcourt, up at the forecourt from behind. It's not close. He gets it back. Quick hand. Goes right side to Felt. Felt drops it off behind him now to O'Brien for the jump shot. It is no good. It's rebounded away by Mike Williams. And a whistle. A foul call, I think. And a technical foul was called on Gary Toll.
Now, Toll said something, I'm afraid. It happens in the heat of the battle, I think.
Number 10, Lynch.
No, the two of them were going at it, I think.
What's he called? He gave the technical.
We get the double call. Lynch and Toll. And the tip is controlled by South Portland. All right, here comes Lynch. Drops it off to Gorham. Going down the lane. The scoop shot is no good this time, and it's rebounded by O'Brien, but he lost it off his leg out of bounds. It'll be South Portland ball.
He apparently never called technical.
No, he didn't call technical as Lynch and Toll were going at it. Foul line, the jumper by Williams is short. Rebounded by Felt. Quickly out to Busk. Up at the forecourt. Toll drives. He lays it up. No good. And a foul. As Kenny Lynch caught him from behind to pick up the personal.
Foul by number 10, Lynch. Personal foul number 4. At the line, number 32, Toll, shooting 2.
All right. Toll will be at the line, and he'll be shooting 2. The first one is up and in. Tony and South Portland now all even, 36-36. For South Portland, number 3, Brent Burrows back in the ballgame as Gary Toll puts Tony back in front, 37-36. All right, up forecourt, far side, Brett Brown. Holding it. Still holding it. Now on the baseline to Gorham. Gorham comes right of the lane. Behind him, he goes to Burrows. Burrows foul line. This is Williams. Williams wants the lane. Goes up with a jump shot. Short again. Rebounded. Gorham scrambles for it. And it's lost out of bounds. Last touch by Gorham. It'll be Coney ball. Rams lead it. 37-36. We have 5:25 remaining to play here in this third period. In fourth foot. This is Toll along the near sideline. Between his legs and a dribble. Back out he comes to O'Brien. O'Brien now goes into Joe O'Brien. Drop it off backdoor. Toll dry spin. With the other hand as he went to the other side. Reversed it, laid it in. 39-36. 3-point lead now for Coney. All right,
beautiful.
Here's Brett Brown, a long jumper. Won't go. Rebound tipped out deep. Grabbed by O'Brien. Here comes Coney. 3-on-2. Toll has his pass knocked loose. And Busk can't control it along the baseline. It'll be South Portland ball. Okay, we're going to pause 5 seconds right here to let the stations along the line identify themselves. South Portland trailing by 3. They have the basketball. 4:40 left to play. Underneath, Burnell lays it in. And again, that discipline this time. The Riots move it around, look for the open man, look for the good shot, and capitalize. Coney leads by 1. Busk on the baseline, drives the baseline, lays it up, and in. What a move by Steve Busk along the baseline.
Frank, that's what we were talking about. I think Tony has got to get Busk going. They can't really win without him, and that's the kind of move we saw in the Eastern Maine tournament. Busk will take it in, and he's very, very, very capable of doing that.
Great move along the baseline by Busk. His team now leading by 3. He can make it 4 with a 3-point play here. He hits it 42-38 Tony. Paul Burnell picked up that personal, his second. That's a 13th foul on the Riots, and Bob Brown is up along the South Portland bench, and he wants a timeout. Timeout here at the Augusta Civic Center with a score. Coney's 42, South Portland 38.
He makes it. I don't know what we have to do to get a better basketball game for a state championship than we have this one. It's 42-38, but no lead is going to be secure in this type of ball game unless he gets up around 10, 12 points. It's been 1-2 all the way. Right now it's up to 4, but hey, this one's open.
All right, this is Brett Burrows with the basketball. On the left wing, top of the circle to Burrows. Brent Burrows and Brett Brown. All right, Brown holds it high above his head to Burrows. Fakes the jumper. Comes to Gorham on the right wing. Ball holding it, top of the key. Brett Brown has room. The 20-footer is no good off the front iron. Rebound to Gouts for Busk. Busk up at the forecourt quickly. Goes to the baseline. Up with a jump shot. It is no good, and he was fouled. Brett Burrows picking up the personal.
Busk remains the key. He draws the foul. He takes the ball in. This will open up Toll. It is going to be a very, very, very tough thing for South Portland to remain disciplined. I think they can. They're showing great discipline. But this is where this game's going to turn around if it's going to, Frank.
All right, here's Busk at the line to shoot a pair. He hits the first one, 43-38. That's got to be one of the biggest leads in the basketball game. A 5-point spread. Now Coney leading it. And Steve will have one more. It's good. 44-38. A 6-point lead for Coney with 3:53 remaining to play third period. All right, Brett Brown up at the forecourt. In it goes to McFarland. McFarland puts it on the floor. It's knocked loose. They tie it up. We'll get a jump. Felt, and McFarland will jump it up. Nope, they're going to get a 3-second call against the Riots. So it'll be Coney basketball now. Durant leading by 6, 3:40 remaining to play third period. In forecourt now. Toll with the ball along the near sideline. To Felt in the corner. Back out it comes to O'Brien. This is Scott O'Brien. Puts it on the floor. In it goes to Felt. In underneath. Lays it in. 46-38. Biggest lead of the ball game. Coney with it. 3:25 remaining third period. And Bob Brown of South Portland wants another timeout. Timeout here at the Augusta Civic Center with the score. Coney 46. South Portland 38.
Apparently, Tony's having a very, very strong third quarter. Thus far, South Portland has been held to just 3 field goals in 5 minutes of play. And obviously, their tempo has been turned around. And Busk is making it happen. He's taking the ball in. He's challenging everybody on the floor. And Tony, in the Eastern Maine Tournament, had a tendency to blow people out doing this. I would think the South Portland's coach Brown right now is thinking over some counter-maneuvers to stop this in a hurry.
All right, and there's his son Brett with the ball. They try to go into Gorham. It's knocked loose and a foul called on Steve O'Brien. That's only the second team foul on Coney here in the second half. South Portland out there now as Mike Williams has come back into the lineup. Gorham, McFarland, Burroughs, and Brown. It's been the same 5 just about all the way except for the few moments with the injury to Felt for Coney. This is Burroughs with the basketball. Holding, still holding. Now he'll take the jump shot. It's no good. Rebound comes out. Grabbed off by O'Brien. On a Toll. Toll up in the forecourt. Coney looking to blow it open here. Toll, jumper right in the lane. It's no good. Rebound O'Brien. He comes back out with it now to Busk. Busk puts it on the floor. Tricky dribbles. Backs in. Up with the jumper on the glass. No good. Rebound tipped along the baseline. Busk controls. But it's knocked loose. Here come the Riots. Brown quickly up in the forecourt along the far sideline. Pulls up. Doesn't take the jumper to Burroughs. Foul line. Jumper shot. Good. Brent Burroughs. Hits for the Riots, 46-40. Coney a 6-point lead. We've got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining to play third period. Gary Toll with the ball. He's along the sideline, and a foul called on McFarland away from the basketball as he and Felt hooked up a little bit. And Paul McFarland will pick up the personal. That's his third. And it's the 15th foul on the Riots, so Ray Felt will be at the line to go 1-1 for Coney. Another key situation here, George. They're 1-1 already, and there's only 2 team fouls on Coney.
Yes, and South Portland is taking it against Felt. It's not a bad idea. He's got the bad leg. He's got a couple of fouls on him. And McFarland, who now kicks the bench when he goes out, was working him over pretty good when he got caught.
All right, Felt is the line. Hits the first one, 47-40. Number 15 in your picture there, Bobby Kierstead, one of the Riot co-captains. He has come off the bench to help this club time after time through the season. The second one missed by Felt. The rebound pulled away by Gorham. Quickly out to Brown. Brown at midcourt, up in the forecourt. Brown left corner now. Burroughs with room. Jump shot, no good. Rebounded. Bush got a hand on it, and it's knocked loose and out of bounds. Last touch by Kierstead. It'll be Coney ball. All right, Bush and O'Brien in backcourt. O'Brien, this is Scott O'Brien, comes to midcourt, brings it across. And Burroughs on him defensively as the Riots now go man-to-man. Out near midcourt, Toll recovers. Toll, tricky dribbles, trying to go around Kierstead. Goes for the jumper on the glass. It is good. 49-40. A 9-point lead now for Coney. 2 minutes exactly left to play, third period. All right, Brown in forecourt for the basketball. Gary Toll, 26 points. Paul Gorham in the lane for the runner. It goes. Gorham hits for the Riots. They draw leather 2 within 7 again at 49-42 up in the forecourt. There he is again. Gary Toll into Felt. Felt goes to the hoop, puts it up and in. 51-42. Coney a 9-point lead again in forecourt. Paul Gorham with the ball on the left wing. Cross corner right, he comes to Burroughs. Burroughs on the baseline of Kierstead. Kierstead fakes. Draws a couple of minutes. He comes back outside with it now to Burroughs. Burroughs trying to go underneath to Williams. Williams, a lot of traffic. Looks by Bush. Bush comes away with the steal. Here comes Coney. Up in the forecourt. The pass is thrown by a man and out of bounds in front of the Coney bench. Gorham avoiding a collision and fell down again in front of the bench, but he's all right.
Went down in the other leg that time.
Okay. Get out another roll of tape. All right, 1:17 remaining, third period. Here comes South Portland. They trail 51-42. Brown walks it, top of the key. Hollering out to Burroughs. Now goes to him. Cross-court, he goes back to Brown. On the right baseline, they have Williams. Now to Burroughs. Burroughs trying to penetrate in the lane. Drops it off. It's not loose enough. We got a collision as Burroughs is going to be called for the charge. Coming down on top of Ray Felt. So Burroughs picks up the personal, and Big Ray Felton goes to the line to go 1-1. And Lynch now will come back into the ball game. Burroughs going to the sidelines. 51-42.
Felton, who only had 5 points in the first half, has 5 in the third quarter. He's up to 10, boarding well, and he and Buska making a big difference.
Right. Shot is no good. Rebound grabbed away by Paul Gorham. Not a Brown. Brett Brown in forecourt. Outside deep on the left side. Still on the dribble. Now stops top of the circle. Kenny Lynch. Right baseline. Williams with room. Jumper is no good. Rebounded by Kierstead. Trying to go back up. The shot is no good. Rebound tip no good. Underneath the whistle, a foul.
On Toll.
Gary Toll picks up his third personal.
Here's a critical point in the ball game. And Coach Found says, you're not going to help me in the bench. You get out there. He called him over, sent him back out. Toll does not foul a lot.
All right. We only have 43 seconds remaining in the period. Kierstead at the line now for South Portland. Rims it, won't go. He'll get one more. It remains 51-42, a 9-point lead for Coney. Biggest spread of the night. The shot up and good. 51-43. Felt inbounding. Lobs the pass to O'Brien. Quickly up at the forecourt now. And on the drive, Dana Caldwell into the lineup. Hits that one to make it 53-43. A 10-point lead. Almost stolen away, but Lynch recovers and a whistle. Foul going to be called on Scott O'Brien. Dana Caldwell came into the ball game. He's 5'11" and a junior.
Personal foul number 1.
Steve O'Brien has gone to the sidelines for Cody. The 10-point lead is 53-43. Brown inbounding. South Portland with the ball and trailing by 10 points. Lynch will take the jump. No, he was traveling as he got the jump pass away to Gorham. Kenny Lynch on a traveling call with 23 seconds remaining here, third period. So Coney now, a 10-point lead with the ball. South Portland going to full court pressure. Busk, good ball handler. Now to O'Brien. O'Brien in forecourt. Out near midcourt to Busk. They look for the final shot. Only 12 seconds remaining. Cross court on the right. Almost stolen away by Brown. Returns, goes to Busk. Trying to penetrate. Busk. Bounce pass on the left side. Caldwell with it. Caldwell bounce pass into Felt and a whistle. He's fouled by Gorham. So Ray Felt goes back to the free throw line as Paul Gorham picks up his first personal foul.
South Portland's having a very hard job, Frank, getting on tempo.
Right.
Basketball is a tempo game, and you can see the frustration. There are several players that went on the edge getting hit with tees, but they're not going to.
All right, Felt's shot is good. An 11-point lead for Cody now, with 3 seconds remaining to play in the third period. The Rams looking to put it away, 54-43. And Big Ray Felt has one more. The shot up and good. 55-43. Gorham inbounds. Kierstead. Kierstead comes top of the circle. The jumper is no good at the buzzer. Okay. That's the end of the third period. The score, Cody 55, South Portland 43.
Tremendous third quarter for Tony. Felt suddenly went up and got 12 points at the end of 3. He only had 5 at halftime. Busk came alive, got 5 in a period. Toll jumped to 26 for the game. O'Brien now has 8. They went from 31 to 55 and really took it to South Portland. And frankly, this is the way Coney has run people out. South Portland's in big danger of having this happen.
All right, and Coney controls the tip to start things here in the fourth period. And we had a call against Bob Kierstead. And Steve O'Brien, who's come back into the ball game, I think will be at the line to go 1-1. Gary Toll with 26 points in the basketball game after 3 periods, and Coney leading by 12, 55-43. All right, the shot is up and good. O'Brien hits the first one in the 1-1 spot. He'll get the bonus. 7:57 left to play in the basketball season for one of these teams. One of them will be advancing to the New Englands. O'Brien hits the fair. 57-43, a 14-point lead for Coney. Up in the forecourt now, Brett Brown. Top of the circle, Lynch back to Brown to Lynch. Along the baseline, they go to Williams. Williams to Lynch. Lynch with a jump shot. Hits it. 57-45. One of the keys for South Portland has been they have not gotten any offense out of number 24, Mike Williams, their leading scorer on the season. They're putting full court pressure on here, as you see. Busk with the basketball. He can handle it. Lob pass up at the forecourt now to O'Brien. O'Brien comes back outside to brother Scott O'Brien. All seniors out there for Coney. All underclassmen out there, with the exception of Kierstead for South Portland. Gorham on the steal, has it knocked loose, re-stolen. O'Brien with the basketball. All right, double team near midcourt. He leaves it for O'Brien. Out on the left sideline, Toll, cross court and right to Busk. Busk around one man. The scoop shot up and good. What a move. What a great move by Steve Busk. And Coney now moves in front 59-45. Gorham picks up his second personal, and Busk at the line and a three-point play. George?
Oh, he's the forgotten man on the ball club, Frank. They give Toll the credit, and he's super. But Busk gets the job done. He makes things happen.
Well, he's happening right into a 15-point lead now at 60-45. Top of the circle, Lynch. Jump pass, right side, Gorham. Doesn't take the shot. Now trying to back in. Back out it comes to Lynch. Lynch trying to penetrate. Can't. Goes to Brown for the jumper. It is no good. Rebounded by Gorham. Trying to go back up. He does. It is good. And he was fouled. Foul, I think, by Steve O'Brien. Wright's trying to hang in there. They haven't signaled that the basket is good yet. There it goes up. O'Brien picks up his fourth personal foul. That's Steve O'Brien, number 42. Gorham will be at the line now and a chance for the three-point play. All right, ball ready. Shot up, and it is no good. Rebounded nicely by Toll. Gary Toll on the dribble, comes to midcourt, up at the forecourt, still coming. Top of the key, now backs out, leads for Busk. Steve, double team, looks for help. Goes to Toll on the sideline. Has it stolen away by Kierstead. Behind the back, Kenny Lynch on a dribble. Now to Brown. Brown near midcourt. He's in forecourt. Left corner, he goes to Williams, back to Brown. Brown holds it. Top of the circle, this is Lynch. Foul line. Jump shot. Good. 60-49. Riot trying to get back in here. Trail by 11. 6:25 remaining in the basketball game. Up at the forecourt, Busk. Now to Toll. Toll. Foul line. Jumper. No good. Rebound comes out. Grabbed off by number 24, Mike Williams. Hit on the right. Brett Brown with the ball. He's in forecourt along the far side. Still on the dribble now. Stop. Top of the circle, Kenny Lynch. Lynch on the right side of Gorham. Gorham trying to penetrate. Goes to the baseline. A foul is going to be called on Steve Busk.
This thing is not over.
No, it isn't.
Not by a long shot, Frank.
And Dave Pound is up. He wants a timeout. So Coney wants a timeout. We'll take it here at the Augusta Civic Center with the score. Coney, 60. South Portland, 49.
Frank, I'll give you a statistic that'll blow your mind a little bit. In the second half, Coney is 11 for 13 on the foul line, and South Portland is 0 for 2. Is that a difference in this ball game?
I guess. You talk about a difference. And right now, it'll be South Portland at the free throw line. Paul Gorham is there in a one-on-one situation. His team trailing by 11. Coney's biggest lead came at 60-45, a 15-point lead. Couple of quick hoops by the Riots, and now Gorham at the line. The shot is up, and it's no good, and Felt comes down with a rebound. All right, here comes Busk in forecourt. Busk out here midcourt, goes to O'Brien, jumps the pass on the right side of Toll. Toll goes all the way underneath, puts it up with the left hand. Beautiful move by Gary Toll. Drove the right baseline, went to the left hand. 62-49 Coney. Top of the circle. Kenny Lynch. Long jump shot. Short off the front iron. Rebounded by O'Brien. Knocked loose and out of bounds. Kierstead knocked it out of bounds, looking for the steal. So O'Brien now, Scott O'Brien, will inbound. Jumps the pass out to Toll. Toll has it knocked loose by Lynch and stolen away by Lynch. Lynch along the sideline leaves it for Kierstead. Now back to Lynch. Lynch to Brown. Brown in forecourt, baseline, Williams, back out it comes to Brown, top of the circle to Lynch, cross court on the right, they go to Gorham. Had the pick, doesn't take it, goes underneath to Kierstead, lays it in. High speed that time from Paul Gorham to Bob Kierstead, 62-51. Coney with the lead and the ball, inbounds, they come to Busk. South Portland put a lot of full court pressure on, they forced a few turnovers. Toll up at the forecourt out of O'Brien. O'Brien flying from the right side, puts up a runner, it's no good, tipped up, Felt no good, rebound, Felt again, trying to go back up and a turnaround, it's 54-51. Ray Felt hits another key one. He has 14 points in the ball game. All right, Brown, left of the lane, top of the circle to Lynch. Lynch looking, still looking. Now goes back to Brown. Brown trying to penetrate, pulls up with a long jumper. It's no good again. Brett Brown having all kinds of problems in the shooting department tonight. It'll be Coney ball. They lead 64-51. We have 446 in the basketball game. Bush, long pass over the forecourt. Feltz underneath, goes up. It's blocked. Blocked by Kierstead, but Feltz lays it in. The basket will count as Kierstead picks up the personal. And Coney now leads at 66-51 to get a 15-point lead, and Feltz will be at the line.
Feltz got 16 points, and playing on a rather game leg that he injured in the first half, has been the dominant figure in the rebounding action.
All right, his missed free throw, rebounded by Mike Williams. Here comes South Portland. Brown in the lane. There's the runner. It's up and in. 66-53. A 13-point lead for Coney. We have 4:26 remaining to play the ball game. O'Brien, double team, trying to go around the man, is fouled by Gorham. Paul Gorham will pick up his third personal foul. And Steve O'Brien will be at the line for Coney to go 1-1. A 15-point lead. The Riots cut it to 11. And we're at the line in a 1-1 situation at 60-49. Could not convert then, and it's back up again. The shot by O'Brien's no good. Fell with the rebound, had it knocked loose. Now Gorham comes away with it. At midcourt, it's passed to Lynch. Lynch in forecourt. Lynch foul line, trying to drop it off to Gorham, and we got a whistle. A foul going to be called on Bush. And Bush is a pull away from Jackie Coyne. They're not looking for any keys here.
Well, Buskus, shall we say, plays with an intensity against everybody.
All right, Gorham will be at the line again with the Riots now to go 1-1. 4:15 left to play in this one. Westbrook won the first one, 52-34 over Mount Blue, the girls' state championship. Now Paul Gorham at the line. The shot is good. 66-54. A 12-point lead for Coney. Gorham has one more. 6-3. They got him down at 190. The shot up and no good. Didn't hit a thing. So it'll be Coney ball along the side.
Gorham has 19.
Gorham having one of his big evenings offensively. Playing well. All right, in forecourt now. O'Brien leads for Bush as they look for the good man. Good shot. There's Toll with a jumper. Tipped in by Fell on the rebound. 68-54 has this young man been the difference here in the second half. All right, Brett Brown. Top of the circle, Lynch. Lynch penetrates. Drops it off along the baseline intended for Kierstead. Knocked out of bounds by O'Brien. It'll be South Portland ball on the end line. Brown will inbound. All right, in it comes now. Right baseline. Lynch with a jump shot. No good. Rebounded by O'Brien. Steve on the floor once. Triple team gets the pass away. Now they go to Bush. Bush up at the forecourt. Beautiful feed to Toll. A turnaround from the lane is good. 30 points for Gary Toll. 70-54, a 16-point lead. Brown jump shot, no good. Rebound, Kierstead up and in. 70-56, Bobby Kierstead hits a couple. All right, near midcourt, Toll leaves it now for Bush. Bush in forecourt, tricky dribbles, goes around a man, goes baseline as he almost lost it. Now goes through a couple of men, goes up with a baseline jumper. It's no good. Rebound pulled away by Gorham. Gorham looks for the outlet, goes to Brown. Brown and Bush tangled up, and a foul going to be called on Bush. No way Steve could avoid him that time, as Brett Brown very wisely hung in there, hesitated, and drew the foul.
I don't know what Coach Brown will do in this situation where Coach Pound, rather, he's got a 70-56 lead, but he does like to go four corners in the end and let the clock roll. He may try to do that.
All right, that for Bush was his fourth. So Bush and O'Brien have four apiece as Brett Brown hits the first in a 1-1 here to make it 70-56. And for South Portland, Mike Williams comes back, replacing McFarland. Brown waiting at the line. 3:11 left to play in the game. The shot no good. Rebounded away by Gary Toll. Deflected from behind, tied up by Kierstead. And we've got the jump. Kierstead, the kind of kid, he's just a fine athlete. Co-captain of this club. Didn't start, comes off the bench, contributes, gives you all kinds of hustle, and now we're going to get a timeout. Timeout here at the Augusta Civic Center with the score. Coney 70, South Portland 57.
Joey going into the state championship tonight, it looked like a 1- or 2-point ball game, but Coney has shown the ability all season long to do this to people. And you know South Portland is a very fine team. If it is Coney High School in the New Englands, I would think that they have an excellent chance to win it with their explosive ability. They could stand a little more size other than Felt, but they have quickness, and they've got Toll, and Felt is sitting here with 16 points. So the representative of the state of Maine should do well next week, Frank.
They should. We'll get the jump at the free throw line, Toll and Kierstead. Tip controlled by nobody, still loose, and O'Brien controls. Kierstead almost had a hand on it. All right, now they come to Feld up in the forecourt. The pass now to Bush. Bush trying to go to Toll. Toll's in the lane. There's the jumper. It rims it. It won't go. Rebound tipped up no good. Rebound Toll back up and in. Gary Toll, 32. All right, here comes Brown. On the glass and in. Brett Brown hits for the right. 72-59 Coney. 2:44 remaining. Toll again in forecourt. Dribble deflected. He gets it back. All right, Toll tired as he looks to take a breather over there. Out near midcourt now to O'Brien. Scott on the dribble. Slides left side. Leaves it on a weave now to Bush. Cross court they go now. They open up the forecorner. All right, this is Steve O'Brien going by a couple of men. Still on a dribble and stops. Holds it. Goes to Feld. High post. Now Feld on a drive. Puts up a runner. It's no good, but he was fouled by Mike Williams. So with 2:19 remaining in this basketball game, it'll be Ray Feld going back to the line. 6'6" and a senior, and he's played like 6'10" out here tonight. He has been something else, especially here in this second half. The shot up and good. He has 17 points. 19 rather. And make it 20. 74-59 Coney.
He's got 15 in the second half.
All right, Brown in forecourt with it. Left of the lane. He'll take the jump shot. It's short again, and the rebound is grabbed again by Feld. Knocked loose. He gets it back. Turns. Goes to O'Brien. O'Brien on the dribble. Will bring it up into forecourt. Being chased by Lynch. Pulls up short. Goes to Feld. High post. Puts it on the floor. Goes to the baseline. Turns. Up with a jump shot short. Rebounded away by Gorham. Here come the Riots. Lob pass up to the forecourt. Kenny Lynch coming in the right side. Puts it up on the glass. No good. And a collision. An offensive foul. Going to be called on Lynch. Good position in there by Scott O'Brien, and Lynch will draw the foul, and that will be his fifth. Kenny Lynch fouls out for South Portland with 1:53 remaining. Kenny, a fine season. But now going to the sidelines as he fouls out in this state championship game. And it comes with 1:53 left to play. Coney in command, 74-59. Gary Toll, as expected, and some kind of a shooting performance. And the keys here in the second half, the big man, Ray Felt and Bust. And we're going to get a timeout here. Timeout at the Augusta Civic Center with the score. Coney, 74, South Portland, 59. It was Brett Burrows picking up a personal as Big Ray Felt went in underneath again, so Burrows will pick up his third personal, and Ray Felt back to the free throw line to shoot a couple. 74-59 Coney. As we have a change for the Riots, John DeMoro into the lineup replacing Paul Gorham, and he'll get a fine hand from the South Portland fans because he had himself some kind of basketball game. Now another change for the Riots will bring Jim Graff, 5'7" senior, into the lineup replacing Brett Brown. Brett, one of the fine schoolboy players in this state, as Felt hits another one. But one of the keys here tonight is the fact that offensively Brett Brown and Mike Williams were not able to carry the load that they usually do. Dave Strickland into the South Portland lineup, number 14, replacing number 15, co-captain Bob Kierstead. And Felt ready for the second one. It's good. 77, check it, 76-59. Cody with the big lead. Graff in forecourt to Williams. This is Burrows, and again Williams on the baseline for the jump shot. Doesn't go, rebounded away by Bush. Here comes Steve at midcourt, now slows it down to O'Brien. Steve O'Brien leads for Bush. Time winding down. 1:18 remaining to play in the ballgame. Toll by one man, and he is fouled. Graff will pick up the personal as we have a couple of more changes for South Portland. McFarland comes into the lineup replacing Mike Williams. And a change for Coney now. We'll have Mark Sutton in, replacing Steve O'Brien. They also have a change in backcourt. Stan Sobis into the ball game, and Busk going to the sidelines. So both coaches now going to their benches as Toll hits again to make it 78-59.
Tony is something like 17 for 20 on the foul line the second half alone.
And the hand now for Ray Phelps.
Oh boy, did he turn the game around.
Tolfer in replacing him. So some new faces in out there now with 1:10 remaining to play in this one. Burroughs will take a jumper left of the lane. Rims it, won't go. Rebound put back up by DeMauro. It won't go. Tipped up and in by McFarland. Paul McFarland on the tip, and Gary Toll, the only starter still out there. All right, jumper. Right of the lane. Here's good. Sobis. And it goes to 80-61. With 49 seconds remaining, they try to go into DeMauro, and Toll will pick up the personal. Or will it go the other way? Yep, DeMauro picks up the personal. And Toll will be at the free throw line. Colwell was along the way almost into the ball game, but to replace Gary, but Gary will be at the line now to go 1-1. 47 seconds remaining. Coney with a 19-point lead at 80-61, and Toll, who's had a fantastic state championship, hits another one.
That's 35, Frank. 35.
35 points for Gary Toll. And a 20-point lead for Coney at 81-61. The second one up and in. 82-61 Coney. And Toll comes to the sidelines now as Colwell comes into the lineup.
Number 32 will go to a college somewhere. They're talking about the kid.
Oh, they should be. The state will be talking about him tomorrow. In they go to McFarland. There's the jumper from the lane, but he was fouled. Colwell picking up the personal. McFarland at the line for the Riots to go 1-1. Only 40 seconds remaining. Gary Toll, just a fantastic evening, but what kind of a cast he had around him today. In Steve Busk, Phelps, and a pair of O'Briens. Couple more changes for the Riots. John Collins is into the ball game.
Well, according to my record, Stoll had 13 field goals, 10 for 10 on the foul line.
What a night. All right.
He didn't take tickets either.
McFarland misses at the line. DeMauro rebounds and hits. 82-63. And we get a turnover. The Riots will get that basketball one more time. McFarland goes to the sidelines now as we have one more change for the Riots. Jeff Ross is in there. Number 5 for South Portland. This is Strickland. Strickland will take a jumper, top of the circle, no good. The rebound to the corner, controlled by Sutton. Sutton on a dribble, comes to midcourt, pass up to the forecourt, through the hands of Tony Seymour, number 22 in there for Coney. And it'll be South Portland ball. Graff comes up in forecourt, has it deflected, knocked loose. And here comes Coney again on the fly, laid up, and in by Stan Sobis. He was fouled by Graff, and he'll be at the line with a chance for a three-point play with 13 seconds remaining, and Coney now leads it 84-63, a 21-point spread.
Yes, and they were down by 1 at halftime, so they swung 20 points in the second half. That's got to be a tremendous effort on their part, Mike.
All right, Sobis missing and rebounded by DeMauro. All right, you can hear the fans count it down. Long heave by the Riots. Williams rebounded out to Sobis. He throws it up from half court. It is no good. That's the gun. That is it. Coney wins it. Look at the fans file out of here to congratulate this Coney Ball Club. Coney wins it. We'll be back with the presentations in just a moment. Scoreboard tells us the story. Coney 84, South Portland 63. button down the netting. O'Brien, you can see up there along with Toll. Just a great performance out here by this Coney club tonight. As George said, they trailed by a point at halftime. And they put this one away by 21 points. 20-point swing here in the second half. Gary Toll, of course, an outstanding individual performance. But what a great, great game turned in by Big Ray Felt and by Steve Busk and the two O'Briens, as they almost Ironmanned it here most of the way. All seniors, and they got themselves a state championship here in their senior year, and now it's on to the New Englands. As the announcement, you hear 36 points for Gary Toll. But as we told you that as we were going along. For South Portland, of course, a tough evening. Offensively, the Riots not able to do what they wanted to do, not able to control the tempo, as they did not control the boards. So, saw to that. He was fantastic off the boards. But what a great performance turned in by Paul Gorham out here tonight. And the Riots, as we said, led it at halftime, but saw it start to slip away in that third period, and then Coney just put it away completely here in this fourth and final period. So, a big, big win for Coney. We have a couple of new state champions. Coney winning the boys' state championship 84-63 here in the boys' game, and earlier tonight, Westbrook winning the girls' Class A state championship, meeting Mount Blue 52-34. Couple of new state champions, George, and you know, we had a one-point ball game at halftime, and we thought we'd see one going to the wire, but you also mentioned this is the type of club that can, wow, they can just blow it open on you, and that's what they did.
Well, there was a point in the ball game when we took a look at it, Frank, and we wondered, and I saw South Portland do the thing that I've seen a number of other clubs do this year. They started scrambling, kind of lost their tempo. We mentioned it at that point. Suddenly a couple of calls angered them. And this has been Coney's game. They did it against Brewer. They did it against Presque Isle in the Easterns, particularly Presque Isle. Now, Presque Isle played them, and I thought Presque Isle was an excellent ball club. They were undefeated. They'd come into the tournament. We were 12 minutes into the ball game, something like that. Then suddenly a two-point ball game was bang, out of sight. And that's the same thing that they did in here tonight. Toll gets all the headlines for 36. He was great. Never take anything against him. But Busk took the tempo of the game to Coney, and Felt then dominated the boards. And you've got to give Toll his credit, and he gets plenty. But I would hate to think anybody would come out of this all tonight and not give Busk and Felt tremendous credit for what they did, particularly Busk, who changed the tempo, and Felt, who dominated the boards, because we were told that South Portland would dominate the boards, and they didn't. They didn't dominate a single period statistically on the boards, and that probably, plus too many fouls, they got in big foul trouble in total numbers, really cost them dearly, and they're a good ball club.
Right. You've got Felt out there, as we said before, in that first half. He only had 5 points in the first half. He was injured in the first half, and he picked up a couple of quick fouls.
Yeah, he had 2 on him. He finishes the game with 22 points.
Right.
And that's with a game day, and I'm sure he never felt that. And then you add that to the 36 of Toll, so between those two guys, you got 58 points, and the other team only gets 63. You're almost home.
Oh, boy. Yeah, what a great performance. And Coney now will advance to the New Englands, and they sure will make a fine representative as far as the state of Maine is concerned. So Coney winning this one, 84-63. Westbrook girls winning the first one, 52-34. Now, we're going to have our presentations now as they start to clean the floor, clear the floor and move the spectators back, and we're going to check in with those presentations. So we'll be back with the presentations in just a moment.
You almost ladies and gentlemen, you should be very proud. Coach,
Frank,
right now we're taking a look at Bob Brown, George.
we have no problem. We've got 5,000 people on the floor now. You know, it's a good 1,000. And one of them tangled their feet up in our cord, our mic cord, and we've just been informed that the mic cord is snapped, so we're not going to be able to pick up the audio.
No, and Bob Brown is at the mic right now, congratulating, first of all, the Coney team for their outstanding performance here tonight. Not only did they play the game of basketball well, but the way they conducted themselves.
South Portland, too, has a fine message.
We're going to, I think we can pick it up. Let's see if we can pick up that PA and Coach Bob Brown of South Portland.
Let us try.
We have no excuses. We have no alibis. You all played us tonight, and tonight you are a better team. as I give out my awards, I hope you people listen and listen to the class of most of these players, because you're going to see them right here or up in Bangor next year. First of all, senior Jimmy Graff. Senior Dave Strickland. Also a senior, a co-captain, who's an outstanding young man, John DeMorrow. My other co-captain, another senior, and you saw what he's made of tonight, Bobby Kirstead. Junior, Jeff Ross. Junior, John Collins. Junior, Paul McFarland. Junior, Brett Brown. Junior, Ken Lynch. Junior, Paul Gorham. Junior, Mike Williams. Sophomore, Paul Burnell. Manager, David Krieger. Manager, Peter Henderson. Manager, Jimmy Hasselbeck. Manager, Ross Davis. The last thing I'd like to say is that they said that we were a long ways away, being a young ball club. We won the West. We got here, and I'm extremely proud of these young men. Thank you. Excuse me, another junior, Brent Burroughs.
We have Captain Kirstead and Captain DeMorrow. At this time, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to present on behalf of the State Principals Association this beautiful plaque which reads State Runner-Up Basketball Class A 1978. Congratulations. Okay, at this time I'd like to call forward Coach David Pound of the Pony Rams. At this time, and ask us to present the individual player award. Thank you very much. This was a great thrill for the boys and myself to have been here tonight. I'd like to say a few things about a fantastic South Portland basketball team, and whom I think is one of the and a man who I think is one of the finest coaches in the state, and that's Mr. Bob Brown. Coach Brown said, they've got an extremely young basketball team, and I too believe that they next year will be right back here or up in Bangor, wherever they hold the state tournament, and I'm sure they'll do another bang-up job next year, and they'll, you know, probably win the thing next year. But again, gentlemen, we played a whale of a ball game. We're very proud to have, you know, played against you. We've met before, and our boys were down staying with Bob's boys before, and they know each other, and it's been a real good relationship between the two ball clubs. And again, congratulations for a game very well played. Now, it's kind of difficult to express my real feelings to these young men. I've had all of them, or most of them, I guess, at least two, a few of them 3 years. The amount of work they put into the game of basketball, as some of you know, is probably in the tens of thousands of hours. And I think no group in the history of Maine high school basketball personifies the relationship between work and success of these young men. I'm extremely proud of all of them, and it's, well, I don't know what else, you know, I'm just tickled pink. First of all, two people that have been extremely helpful to me, that's my assistants, Coach Bob Fairbrother and Robert Atwood. Let's start with, I guess if we get the Baby Rams here, I'll introduce them again to you. And they'll, these are the future stars of Tony High School, and the first one is John Fitz. And the other sophomore, Kurt Cooper. Let's see, some juniors, John Doran. David Gallagher. Doug Drummond. Dana Caldwell. And I'll see the rest of these players are all seniors. They're graduating. It's been I guess a wonderful experience for me this year to have worked with them and to have to be a senior and come out and work as hard as some of these boys have and yet not play a great deal in the ball games is, you know, especially important to me because there's not too many people in that category that are willing to you know, devote a great deal of time to their basketball team, and these next young men have done that. Mark Sutton. Tony Seymour. Stan Sobis. And Ralph Culper. I guess, if some of you read the paper this morning, I'd like to thank very much Mr. Sansucci, who wrote that wonderful poem. About the fabulous Pony Five, and here they are. Ray Belt. Steve O'Brien. Scott O'Brien. Stevie Bush. Gary Toll. There are three more people in our organization that, although no one sees them too much, they're a great deal of help to me. One fella has been working hard behind the scenes for 3 years, senior manager, head manager, statistician Alan Bridge. And the 2 assistants, Kevin Lorenz and Jeff Barabee. This year's Coney basketball team asked if you can say something, so I guess I'm going to let it.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the Coney High School fans who have been with us all season. Your support means a great deal to us, and we'd like to thank you for the last 4 years. You've given us a lot of support, and from the bottom of our hearts, we'd like to thank you. Bobby Brown, his kids, their utmost respect to him. Thank you very much.
Captain Steve O'Brien, it's a pleasure to present to you this gold basketball on behalf of the State Principals Association.
That's it. Gold basketball, you've got it all, I guess, and now they have another game to play, or more.
But what a great representative they'll make of the state of Maine, George. We haven't had a good opportunity to take a look at all the scoring, the individual scoring. Let's run it down quickly here in this final one.
Well, before we close, Coney High School was paced by Gary Toll at 36, as you know. Seltz, 22, was so critical he had only 5 at halftime. Busk had 10, had a great floor game. Stevie O'Brien, 10. Colwell had 2. Silvers chipped in 4 for the 84. Remember, this was a 1-point game at halftime, and it was blown open in the second half. Brown had 10. Gorham, 19. Lynch, 6. Williams, 6. Burnell, 10. Pierstead had 4. DeMoro, 2. Burroughs had 4. McFarland had 2. The final score was 84-63. Tremendous victory for Coney over a very fine and young South Portland team. And Frank, in closing, I would like to wish Coney High School well in the New England. I think they have the talent to win it if the breaks go their way and the matchups are good. And I want to say to us, a joy working with you again, Frank. It's been a long time.
George, my pleasure always when we get together. Again, I'd like to remind the folks that